Hello, my friends. Cheers. Got the extra large Tim Hortons today, and we're back at it. Today, we're talking about how I set up my solar system. I'm going to walk you through exactly what I did. I am by no means an expert at solar, and therefore I did some research and I talked to people, and I found it a little bit, what's the word? It's not really annoying. It's a bit frustrating dealing with the internet sometimes, because you ask questions and people, it's not really their fault. They're trying to be helpful, but they don't really know the details of what you're doing at a more intimate level, I guess you could say. So they'll tell you things, but they don't really know what you're trying to achieve. So I had some conflicting information that was happening. What I basically did is I asked one person that I know in person that he knows what he's talking about, and I asked the people that sold me the solar panels. They obviously know what they're talking about. And I asked them exact same question. I emailed them or Facebook messaged them the exact same question, and they both gave me the very similar answer, which means that it's the truth. So this is what I have done for my solar system. I have two panels coming in from the top, 300 watts each. Each panel is going into, I changed wires because I don't want the red one, once the van is finished, sticking out, is going into the solar panel section of a charge controller. It says, this is really easy part. You just put the positive into the positive, negative into the negative. Okay, so you get the wire from the panel going into the charge controller, and then same with this one, wires going in to the charge controller. Then you have the charge controller hooked in to the batteries. This cable. So this one is going into the positive, and I split it, it's going into the negative. Then I have the same with the other one. Wire coming out of the battery section of the charge controller, and it's going down into both batteries. The other thing is I've got this system where the batteries are connected together. This gives you one huge 12-volt battery. So you can see this thick cable right here. It's hard to see it, but that is like a 0 gauge cable connecting the positive to the positive and the negative to the negative. That makes this one big battery. There's different ways you can configure this. If you want a 24-volt system, you would do it differently, but I want a 12-volt system. So that makes it one big battery. The batteries are connected to the solar panel or charge controllers, and all is well. Then you have the batteries. This is where I got a little bit mixed up, I gotta be honest. See these sections that says load? Load. Load. Well, I found a picture online when I was trying to figure out how to do all this that said the load goes into your fuse panel. No, it doesn't. I tried that and it didn't work. I was like, what the heck? So after further research, I found that you just skip that. Don't even use these. These are for like less than 1 amp. So you could probably run your lights or something really slow, low draw off of those. But so don't use the load. What you do is you take your batteries and you run a wire from the batteries, positive and negative, into here. I just have this temporarily on right now, so I just taped it up. So this is my negative cable. See, it says negative, and it goes all the way down into the negative post of my battery terminal. Then the other one at the top, it's hard to do this without, I guess I'm just going to take this off. This is my positive one with a plus, of course, and that goes to the positive side of my battery. That's it. It's really not that complicated. So just to quickly review that, the solar panel goes into where it says PV. The battery connects to there, positive and negative. And then you don't even touch the load, but you do take positive from the battery, put it to the positive, negative from the battery, put it to the negative on your fuse panel. Then you run everything else off of your fuse panel. So this one right here is my fridge, this one right here is my fan, and this one right here is my light and auxiliary little chargy thing for my phone. I also have my inverter charged, charging my reliable batteries, so I'm just using these little tiny clamp things to clamp it directly to the battery. Eventually I'll have that run out of the fuse panel as well. Now I should have more fuses in this. I should probably have a fuse from the solar charge controller to the battery. There should be a fuse there on each one. I haven't done that yet. I'd also like to note that this is just a temporary setup. So thank you for your patience. This is just a scrap piece of wood. I just screwed these into place and all the wires are just like hucked on there. Once I build my cabinets and my fridge area, I'm going to put the charge controllers on the side and the fuse panel will be below where the battery is. The battery stays there forever. So yeah, temporary. Because I need to take this wall apart and insulate, and same with this one. So there's no point in making it all nice and ticky-poo just to have to take it all apart again. So I just needed some power while I live in this thing. So let's take a look at these things for a second. This one is 100% full. And it's good. The battery is 13.4 volts. There's no load coming out, so that's from this. So one thing that I've learned is that these panels get very warm. Let's see what this one says. 27 Celsius. It's a cool day today. It's like 18 Celsius. I mean, it's not cool, but it's not warm and it's not too cold. But my point is the panels do get warm. So one mistake that some people make is that they get these VHB tape and they tape their flexible panels directly to the roof. That is a mistake because you need airflow under your panel so that it cools it down. I've seen already, it was 24 Celsius yesterday and my panel reached a temperature of 38 degrees Celsius. That's getting pretty hot. So yeah, air circulation around your panel is a good idea. Let's see what else is going on here. So I don't know what that even means. E0 means there's no errors, error code 0. Everything is fine. So one thing that I learned is that if you have a max air, the black wire is positive. And that's why I couldn't get my fan to work. I was like, what the heck? Why isn't this working? And I actually bought a new module for this. Circuit board thing cost me like a lot of money, like 50 bucks. And I bought it for nothing. Because I thought, oh, my thing's not working. Brain dead Fred over here. Anyway, I got it fixed now and it's working just fine. So it's important to remember on the max air fan, black is positive, white is negative. Why they do that is beyond me. Why would you make, I mean, it's industry standard that black is ground. Why would they do that? Kind of drives me nuts. But actually, maybe I'll give this thing on. It's not like I don't have any power. But it's strange how these panels have different readings, even though they're the same exact panel and they're exactly beside each other, running into the same batteries. But they give me different readings. Very interesting. Could be because there's a little tiny shadow, but it's cloudy today, so there is no shadow. I don't know. So it's pretty messy in here. I've got all my stuff stacked up and remarkably hasn't fallen over yet when I'm driving. It's surprising, to be honest. You can see my fridge is working. What I'm going to do is all this stuff is going to be pushed forward, and I'm going to build another one of these. And then this space will be used up. And so the wall of my kitchen counter is going to go right to the edge of the batteries and going to go up. I guess, I don't know. Really what I should do is I should rebuild this bed or modify this bed and make this rounded, because this is the amount of space I'm going to have even when the build is finished, because this is a 20 inch depth of counter. I guess I could build a counter more shallow. Alright guys, well there you have it. I think the 600 watts is going to do me just fine. I'm not a heavy user of power. I really just need my lights, phone, and fridge to work on a regular basis. And that's it. So I think the 600 watts will do well. I guess I'll really know for sure once I've gone through a winter. Thanks for watching, and be well, my friends.